Wait, I'll stop it and then you can take
He's going to video a little bit.
I'm videoing right
It's going
now.
to be better than that video.
So what we're looking at, this is there's two main arteries in the heart, one on the left and one on the right. The left one starts off as one big one and then breaks into two parts, okay? So this is the left side. So it starts off as this one big artery, and then this part goes down the front of the heart, and this comes around the side. And you can see his worst blockage is right there. See how that's pinched down to almost nothing. And then there's another area, this long segment here. Instead of being nice and big, it's kind of flat. And then the other one right at the beginning of this pretty big branch, see right there?
Yeah.
It's narrowed pretty good. And you can really see in motion how narrow those things are. So what we do is we take different pictures. Now, the other thing to show you is that if you notice before the dye goes in, look how dark that is. There's like a haze. That's all calcium, because you shouldn't see that at all. Normally you can't see the arteries until we put the dye at all. But he's got so much calcium that you could almost see the whole thing there. So what we do is we're going to take different pictures from different angles. And you can see here's that front spot again in a different angle, and you can really see.
Would that be right in this area?
Well, they usually get pain there, but yes, that's where it is.
Because he's been complaining for a long time of that.
He may have had something for a while.
Okay.
Because this doesn't happen overnight when it's this. See how it's real narrowed down in there? So what we did, and the pictures are coming kind of one at a time here, so. And then we switch over. This is his right side artery. And this artery has some hardening again, like the other one, but there's no area really blocked up at all. All right? So now the question is, we got to wait a second to get the rest of the, see what, as we get the pictures in here, we'll look one at a time. So what we did is we went into...
is that the instrument going in there now?
That's just, what we have in there is, there's a catheter from the leg that goes up to the heart, and then it sits right at the beginning, and we just put dye in the artery.
Oh, okay.
So it's just the dye going in. We haven't done anything yet. But what we're going to do is we're going to try and put a little stent across here and then across there to open them both up. Now what we do a lot of times, particularly when we think it's hard, is first thing we do is put just the balloon itself. And we try and open to make sure it'll open. Because we don't want the stent, which is metal, to kind of partway open and get stuck there. Well, his was really hard, and the first balloons would not open, and we'll get some pictures here in a minute. So here's the first balloon. See, there's a little wire all the way down to there, and then we slide the little balloon to where the blockage is, and you can see right in the middle there, it's still not opening up all the way, even though we're pushing it open. So what we did then is we take it and we keep going to a higher and higher pressure inside the balloon to try and crush it open. And we switch to a different balloon that can go to higher pressure, and you can still see there's a little waste there. It's not opening up. Let's see where we are. So we kept trying. And then what we're going to do next is, when they're real hard, we took a balloon that actually has little blades on it, almost like scalpel blades, that as you open they kind of pop out and they cut on top of just the pressure to see if that'll just break through this calcium. And so we did that, and it's looking better, but it's still not open all the way, and we took a bigger size of that, and you'll see finally here in a second when it gets sent over here pretty soon, hopefully. This a piece at a time, I'm sorry. You'll see in a second, this was a different kind of balloon, and the balloon actually broke. That's why you're starting to see dye up here.
So how do you get that balloon out of there when it breaks?
It's still attached. It's attached to the tube. So it's just, when it breaks, it just won't blow up anymore. We just pull it out. It just won't. But it tells you how hard it was. So this is now a different size of that cutting thing with the blades. And you can see it's starting to get a little opened up at least. And here a little more, and then I think we finally, we'll see in a second when we get the right ones in here. So the good side of it is, in the end, we managed to put a stent here, and a stent in the other one, and they all look really good. So That it will work perfect for him. When you put the stents in nowadays, about a 95% chance they'll stay open long-term for years. We do watch, because some people, they can close up in the beginning, in the first 6 months, but it's not common.
Would it be possible that later he might have to have more?
It is possible sometimes. The other thing is, remember, he's got this hardening of the arteries in a lot of places, so the disease is still there. We don't get rid of what caused it. We don't know how to do that. We know getting your cholesterol good and your blood pressure slows it down, but we don't really know how to get rid of the hardening of the artery. Right. So you can so we're getting the balloon in, and then we finally come back, and you can kind of see now that it's starting to open up. See the dye coming through now, and so now we're going to go in, and I think this is the first stent going in now. Okay, so the stent is like a little slinky, and it's on a balloon, so it's closed up real tight. We put it in, and then we use the balloon to pop it open, and then it stays there. The metal stays inside, and we pull the balloon out and leave the metal kind of lining it. So the next picture, you see the balloons going up to squish it open and into place. And let's see, where are we? Oh, good, okay.
So his rhythm is okay.
Okay, and so here's after the stent's in now. Remember how tight that was? So now it's wide open. It looks very, very good. So then from there we went down and we put a second one. We're going to put a second one in up here where that kind of wasn't as bad a blockage. We didn't even use the balloon on that. We just put the stent right in. We're just trying to get it in the right spot and blow it up. And then you see, so that's nice. So now you can kind of see both of these right here and right here look real good. So the last thing we did is we're going to try and fix this spot that was real narrow, if you remember. So we do this one, we thought we could just put the stent right in, so we're just trying to get it in the right place with the dye to make sure we've got that spot where it's narrowed. And we kind of start blowing it up, and you can see it's doesn't want to open. And then we pushed a little higher, and it popped open well. And one more picture here. Almost done. So that's what it's starting to look like now. We've already put the stent in. So see, this one's nice and open too. Yes. And then we'll take everything out and take a couple last pictures where you can see real well where everything is as soon as the machine lets us here. Okay. So this is, everything's out now. So if you remember, it's a little dark on this machine. Remember, right there was real tight right at the beginning, and that's gone. And then I'll show you the other the front artery now looks great. I'll show you that one. Wow. So remember, it was real tight here, and then it was some up here, and so we've got a stent there and a stent there. Right. And it all looks good. What a difference, So he's doing great. Everything went smooth. We'll have him in the intensive care unit just overnight, just to kind of watch him a little bit. If all goes well, he should be able to go home by tomorrow. And then we'll follow him in the office, and we'll you know, try and get him on some medication to kind of help prevent anything more down the road. But the good news of all of this, his heart pumping is still strong. He had a very minor heart attack by the blood tests, but there was no big damage. The heart still looks normal. So there's every reason he should be able to do everything he was always doing.
And so what about the irregular heartbeat? Does this...
It's hard to... A lot of times the irregular heartbeat came because part of the heart wasn't getting enough blood and it got it irritable. He's back in a normal beat now, so it may be that once we fix these, that won't happen anymore. So that's a hopeful thing too. So we'll see.
As long as he eats right, those will pretty much stay open. And we're going to watch his cholesterol. We're going to keep him on, we keep him on some medicine, a little bit of a blood thinner called Plavix to help keep the stent open, and some other medicines like that. And then him doing, you know, trying to stay active, watch his diet, all those things help. All right? So he did great. So anyways, he's out of the unit. Oh, you're